this one has, once again, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of like a swoop brush, and there's the size of the bristles all around it are vary in length. And I love this brush. Once I use up this bottle, I'll probably attempt using the same brush in maybe other products that I might like the serum better. I don't know if it'll work the same. I don't see why not. A lot does have to do with the brush shape. Okay, so you can try turning it. So if one way doesn't seem to be getting in those places that just isn't working for you, just turn around, get all in there, because I don't know about everyone else, but I have these kind of lashes that I can't just go la and it's done. No, I have to get in there at all different angles. Now I think this also helps build it up. Now when I say build it up, I don't mean the big huge gobs or anything like that. That's why we want to let it dry in between applications. Most mascaras, most people say to apply 3 times at least to get a lot more coverage and just that full on effect. This I'll sometimes end up using, I haven't actually counted yet, but we'll see in this video. I think it's 3+ coverages. And now this particular type of Hard Candy's mascara is really meant for the larger eyelashes. So are you going to sit there and fiddle with this right before work, or if you're running out the door? You can just throw on a coat or two and have it be basically normal mascara. There's no problem with that, and it's going to still look good. But if you want the actual full effects of what this is really meant for, you're going to be spending a little bit more time on it. As a general rule, even when I sit there and I do my whole face for going out clubbing, I really do spend the most time on my mascara, because for me, like, I have dark lashes, but just the way they sit and everything else, they really take away, my whole face looks really washed out without having mascara on. I'm just gonna go ahead and start doing this. If I can speed it up, I totally will. Okay, here it goes. Okay, there we are. So that would be one application, believe it or not. So why I say this is because we're gonna let this side dry, and as you can see, it really does make a difference. So this side's kind of a lot more sleepy looking. That's just the shape of my eyes, and that this sits down lower on me and everything else. So even though this has been poorly curled, mind you, it has been curled, but you can definitely see a lot more of the lift here. And what I love about this brand is that it really does get all those little tiny hairs without just kind of sticking them all together and make them very matted and heavy. So like I said, this is going to be one application, because the second application is going to better adhere to the previously laid down product. So what I'm going to do is then quickly do the other side, and then in that time this side will have definitely fully dried. So then we'll just go ahead, see how that is, touch it up, and then go from there. Okay, so this is what it looks like after. I've applied a generous amount on that same idea with this one, and as previously mentioned, I've got some down here, but that's no problem. So previously mentioned, Q-tips, makeup remover, awesome. Just kind of do a gentle sweeping motion. Never kind of jab, because that's going to sooner irritate your skin. So just do gentle sweeping motions and get right in there. And there's quite a bit on there. And this is good to also use up here if you got some on your eyelid. So now I'm going to go back and work a little bit more on this side. One thing to note is this is also good to darken up those very tips, because it just sort of catches the light better if you have a little bit thicker ends to your lashes, because we can easily fill in the base later with the Revlon product. Sorry about the nostril shots, I'm working with what I've got here. This is working well for me today, so I probably only really need to finish up that side, and I would call this done, except for just putting the black in behind. So I'm just gonna go ahead, do the other side, and then we'll start again from there. Okay. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done the other side. What we're gonna do next is I've got my MAC palette brush. We're gonna do just really simple right now. So I'm grabbing a little bit of orange, grabbing a little bit of yellow, just kind of swiping it on there. Don't worry about making a mess of the stage. I just wanted to throw in some color so that way you guys get the general idea. Don't worry about suddenly looking like Mimi. Don't be afraid of color because you can always remove it. That being said, do you want to try out a new look right before going out and then end up having to remove all your makeup and make your face all red and irritated? Probably not a good idea. But it's great for those nights where you can't sleep anyways and you're just gonna stay up and not really accomplish anything anyways. So great thing to attempt anyways. Okay, so now that that's on, so it still looks a little severe. This is what's awesome about this palette. So right now I'm gonna grab the darker flesh tone and I'm going to use it all right in here. And so what that does is it doesn't completely cover up the color underneath, but it makes that nice soft gradient going into your natural skin color, so it doesn't look suddenly as harsh. And then I'm gonna grab the really light one, and this is gonna go right underneath my eyebrow. But see how that just kind of made it a lot more of a even gradient instead of looking so harsh? Okay, so we're on to our last step. We're going to take the angled brush and we're going to take this liquid eyeliner. It's like a brush tip sort of thing. There's no reason why you couldn't use just a kohl pencil either though. What we're going to do is you take it and you kind of just gently brush the tip against the other tip. So you just need just a little amount. You don't need it soaked. So then what you do is you're going to outline over top of your eyebrows, or eyelashes, sorry. And you're going to pull that gently tight. Remember never to be too rough with your eyelids because in the long run you don't want them all pulled and easier way to make wrinkles, and just it's not worth it, guys. So, and it's not really necessary either. So what you're doing here is you're getting it as close to the eyelash line as possible, and you're just kind of flicking it or gliding it along, and you want to make this part here extend just a little bit past further your last eyelash. And what it'll do is it'll fill in all those gaps and it gives the look of that you have even longer eyelashes. Now the cool thing about this is if you watch any eyelash commercial, mascara commercial, it doesn't matter if it's Revlon or any commercial, whenever they're advertising any eye makeup, and especially mascara, there will always be this black line, and it does make everything look fuller, a lot more camera friendly. And once you know that, it's kind of cool because you can't help but notice it afterwards. So when they're like, oh, this makes it so much thicker, really pay attention to how much black they have behind the eyelashes, and you can usually tell whether it's a complete BS product or not. Not always, but it is a little bit, yeah, it does happen. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and we can make it have a little bit more shape. There we go, flip that around. Okay, so notice how this one here, you can see through the gaps in the eyelashes a lot more versus this one. And so there's lots of things you can do to keep adding shape, and there's a lot of tutorials out there for this kind of thing, of whether you have almond eyes or really heavily lidded eyes, or just find one that really matches your face shape. But for the most part, this one here is pretty standard and works really well just to do the outer line a bit thicker. And it works with any color that you want to put under. For like, I mix that yellow and orange together, but I could have done blue, I could have done purple. It's endless, really. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the other side, and save you guys some time. So this is pretty well lit. I haven't added black underneath my eyes, but there's nothing stopping anyone from doing this. I wanted to kind of keep this relatively simple. I know there's a ton of steps, but I want to break it down as simply as I could. I hope I didn't complicate it too much. It really is a good look to have. It lasts pretty well all day, and if you really wanted it to last longer, you could throw on a more permanent mascara over top just to kind of seal it in. I recommend the Lash ink. And yeah, so I hope that I've been able to cover something in this tutorial that has helped somebody. Okay, take care. Bye.